Hi everyone, myself Priyanka, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science, Christ College Autonomous Irinjalakuda. We are discussing on the topic principles of compilers. We have discussed various phases in the compiler. That is, we have already discussed the analysis phase as a whole. Now we are moving to the synthesis phase. In that, the first part we have discussed the first synthesis phase, that is intermediate code generation. Under that heading we have already discussed first intermediate code, that is called DAC. So next we are going to move with the next intermediate code, that is called the 3 address code. So what is a 3 address code? For example, x is equal to y plus z. This is a 3 address code, but y is equal to x star, this is x star, z plus c. This is not a 3 address code. So I will summarize. In a 3 address code, there is only one operator in the RHS. Then it is called what? 3 address code. Look at the only 3 addresses are we referring. But here we are referring to 1, 2, 3, 4 address. Okay, so this is not a 3 address code. So in 3 address code we have only one operator in the RHS. More than one operator in the RHS or less than more than one operator in the RHS is not a 3 address code. We can have less than one, but we can't have more than one. Less than one, there is no meaning, but just it's an assignment operator, but we can't have more than one operator in a 3 address code. Okay, so we can look at what is a 3 address. What is an address in a 3 address? Address can be what? A name. What do you mean by a name? Name as a symbolic name, that is, it can refers to the name of your program, so that you can refer to that program. Next one, it can be a constant, that is like constant. It can be a symbolic constant or a numeric constant, variables it can have. Otherwise it can be a memory address. Okay, here name refers, we can go to another program, that is called sum. That can be an address, or it can be a constant like that pi, that is 3.14, or it can be a compiler generated memory, that is you can go for M1, M2, etc. That is memory. You have already studied in microprocessor, that can be a memory itself. So when we are considering about the 3 address statements, we are considering another one important topic, that is called symbolic labels. What do you mean by symbolic labels? For example, go to L1. Go to L1. L1 is called what? Symbolic label. This symbolic label will alter the flow of the control or alter the flow of your program. So that is also called a 3 addressed statement or 3 address code. Okay, so an address in a 3 address can be a name, a constant, or a compiler generated memory. It can also be a symbolic label which alter the control flow of your program. Okay, next one, we see various or a list of commonly used 3 address instruction format. First one is the binary assignment instruction, that is x equal to y operand z. For example, x equal to what? Y plus z. Okay, this is an assignment instruction. Next is in the, this is in the binary format, this is in the unary format, that is x equal to minus y. Okay, only one operator. Okay, that is unary operator here we are using. Next one, copy instruction. I have already said less than one, that it will be what? Just assignment instruction, that is copy instruction. RHS value is copied to the LHS value. Next we have already discussed, that is unconditional jump, that is go to, that L is the symbolic label, that what will be the purpose of it? Go to L means the program will jump into the statement or the line where L is pointing. Okay. Next one is unconditional jump. Unconditional jump means what? If, else, if, etc. are unconditional conditional jump. That is, if X satisfies this condition to be true, it can go to what? L. So in the previous statement, it simply go to L without checking, without any checking. But here it will go to L only if X becomes true, or we can also write X becomes false. If false is the statement for false instruction. Here if means every time X is true only it is executed. If false means false. If X is false, anything to be executed, then we write if false X. That is, if X is false, it will go to L. Okay. Next one is conditional jumps. Like that, in a conditional jump we can use relational operator. For example, if X greater than Y. Okay, that is also a what? Conditional jump. In that we can use what? Relational operators for jumping to a statement. Okay, so either we can use simply X itself, or we can use what? Relational operators. Okay. Next is copy instruction with indexed format. As in the case of array or memory location, if there is n values in a memory, so we want to point only a specific value, you can write what? Indexed operator, X equal to Y of I. So that specific unit value will be copied to what? X. Okay. Next is pointer instruction. That is very simple, as you have studied in C language exam. X equal to memory address of Y, and X equal to what? X is pointing to the Y's address, and X is getting the value of what? Y. Okay, R value means pointer value of I it will be getting. If it is an array, it will get the it will move to the first pointer of the array, and then we can increment as such. Okay. Next one is procedure calls. In procedure calls we will three address statement. It will move with first parameter, second parameter, like that. N parameter, if we are calling a parameter with n means parameter sequence, and first one, if n value is 1, x1, n value of 2, x2, like that. P of x1 comma x2 comma xn, that is procedure. P x1 comma x2 comma xn will be called while like the call P of n. Okay, that's it. Sorry, this is an error. This is not here. So that is, the integer is indicating in call P of n is not redundant, because call can be nested. That what does this statement means? This P of n is not nesting. It is just indicating that n's value, that is, if x1, x2, etc., how many n's value we have to be noted, and it is not redundant. It is just a nesting call. First it move with parameter x1, then x2, etc., xn, and will return a value if it is needed. That is also what? Optional. Okay, thank you. That's about a general introduction of three address statement. We have studied what is a three address statement, what can be a three address statement, and also what are included in the three addresses, and also general format of instructions in the three address statement. The next video we see the famous three address formats, that is triples, quadruples, indirect triples, etc. So thank you. Practice it and read it and understand it. Then we can move to the next portion very smoothly. Thank you.